Hi, this is Anna Choi with Energy TV, and today I just wanted to share a few thoughts on what you feed your mind. And part of what feeds your mind, especially in the age of social media, is which community groups that you choose to be part of. So, yes, I'm going to be selfish here and also share about our community conscious entrepreneurs, but you need to know how to filter information. So that's what I want to focus on for you today. So first off is you are who you surround yourself with. Um, it's interesting to think about, we all know that if you read a bunch of negative news, I have clients that literally get depressed, or especially if they're highly empathic and sensitive, boom, they're out for the day. They don't have motivation to go do the things that they know they need to do. And it makes a big impact. And yet, how often do we just kind of go onto our phones or our emails without having vetted what you get exposed to? So here's what I mean. When I am on Facebook, I primarily do it for business. Yes, it's fun to learn about people personally, but it's too easy to get sucked in for hours, right? So when I get friend requests, I get a bunch, like, I don't know, 10, 20 a day. And I'm like, I don't know who these people are. So I, like once a week, will go through and just go through their page. And when you hover over their name, you can see immediately if they are a positive, life-giving, sourceful person or someone that sucks energy. And you can tell just like by their cover page, if it's like a picture of nature or family or empowering people versus like something that's kind of like, ew. And then if you go deeper, because you can't really quite tell, you can just see, are their posts uplifting? And this isn't about being Pollyanna, but it's about, you want to be real still, but it's not about politics and religion and tearing down and freedom of speech. I could care less. This is about what you actually feed your mind. So there's my 8-year-old son. Anyway, so that's what I mean is one way is who you accept as in your feeds. Because if I go to Facebook, I want to count on that when I go to my home feed, I'm not going to get these like surprising images or weird, strange things or things that bring me down. If I'm going to spend time and energy there, I want to know it's a life-giving place. And so by vetting out the people who I just even friend, boom, that helps that. The other piece of this is if you get a little more into it, especially as a business owner, in Facebook groups, think of groups just like any networking event, right? It's just online. I know it's a little different to connect with people online than in person. However, it is just the same in that, again, you get a vibe, right? The moment you walk into a room in a live event, you'll get a feel like, is this like business as usual, people just going through the motions? You can see by the type of people in there if you have aligned values or not. You can see if it's like up and coming and forward thinking versus like stodgy and old or whatever, right? So same thing in Facebook groups. When you are perusing groups, you can kind of check out and see before you join a private group whether it's the type of people that are in it. You can see how many posts have been active. So you want something in the sweet spot where they are at least posting daily, where there's, it doesn't have to be thousands of people or 10. That's kind of more or less irrelevant. Like if you had even a few hundred, like 200-300 that are actively engaged, that can be a very good community still. It's more about quality than quantity. If it's a 10,000 person group and you see that there's been like no posts or no activity, then obviously that was some sort of Facebook ad or something. But even if there's like, some of them are overwhelming, there's like 10,000 people, but then there's a cajillion posts. Sometimes I veer away from that because it's too much. Anyway, you got to find the sweet spot for you. But for me, I personally like somewhere like 200 to 800, and the community that I'm in are people I want to connect and meet with, fellow conscious entrepreneurs, etc. That have it's alive. like there's posts. It's not just the one person who owns it. Like always the one producing everything. Anyway, so that's how you can kind of vet for whether a group's for you, and then you join, and once you get in there, then you can see for yourself what it's actually like. So with that in mind, I'm going to share about our conscious community of conscious entrepreneurs that we've been building over 3-4 years. I'm excited to share. It's really been forming, and since COVID, 12-13 weeks now ago, really doubled down on just building community because people needed some sort of community, even if they were sick of going online. And so we really integrated a high-touch experience where there's a ton of in-person movement-based things to go to. So, for example, we've got Yoga Saturdays where we can all join together as conscious entrepreneurs, get to know each other through our bodies, right? And then we have every month a gathering of everybody in the group who can meet in person on Zoom and get to know each other's stories, and not just have like a regular networking meeting or the typical speaker Q&A panels. Nothing against those, but they can get old in the format, right? So this is more about tapping into the collective wisdom of each person. So these every first Friday we have monthly entrepreneur socials. We've got 20 folks or show that come through, and we all share our story. We share a prompt. So like we shared about Black Lives Matter because that's been a big talk and area, right, of concern or of interest to learn about. And so how does Black Lives Matter? What are the lessons that you're learning about it for yourself, and how can you apply that into your business? So we have a little bit more meaningful conversations than just like passing cards out, so to speak. And we make sure to break out in rooms and so forth. So that's happening every first Friday. And then we have every Monday, Mojo Monday, which is like Q&A, and you can just ask any business question that you have. I'm a business coach, so I just give that away freely as a give back to the community as a reward for being in the community. And then we have sometimes energy TV sessions, which are where we interview and feature our members. And so you want like a mix in your group. That's what a community group, where we have this regular programming of high level experiences that bring them together. And then in the posts, I tried to keep it a mix between light and deeper question prompts. So the other day was like, is it an energy drain? Like, what do you actually eat for breakfast? Which seems like a light question. It's easy to answer. Yeah, it's kind of deeper, right? Because it shows, you get a window into people's day-to-day life of how they like to move in their energy flow. I can count on now, because we've cultivated it as such. And if there's any outliers who are like super negative or like trying to throw fear in or put freedom of speech, or if they're just trying to promote themselves, like we give them a warning and then we delete them out of the group. So they can find other groups that would fit their needs better. At any rate, I invite you to come to the Community Conscious Entrepreneurs and experience it for yourself. And if you're starting your own group, those are some best practices of what to look for and what to create as an experience. And in doing so, you can achieve really feeding your mind and soul and your body and your heart with being surrounded by awesome, amazing, conscious entrepreneurs who are changing the world, just like our group. So I'll go ahead and put that link below where you can join. Right now it's free, and get tons and tons of value that enriches your life versus just getting sucked into the social media feed. Okay. All right. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.